happened towards the end of our newspaper review, please. So sorry about that. Let's move on now. Today we're going to look at, as you very much know, that we'll have a festive period that is coming very much close. I think Easter holidays is starting tomorrow.
Yeah,
and to end on Monday. So usually, you know, the Southeasterners will come home in rows, okay, and thereby having a lot of issues and on the roads as it concerns traffic. So that's why we're going to look at this topic this morning, ensuring safety on our roads during Easter season. That's exactly what we are cut out for this morning. And we'll have the big boss of the road commanders that has joined us this morning to look at this topic. He is Corps Commander Adoye Irelewuji, Sector Commander, Federal Road Safety Corps, Anambra State. Welcome you to Good Morning Anambra Studios this morning, sir.
Thank you very much. It's
Have you
good
been
to
here
be
before?
Not on TV.
Not on TV?
On radio.
Okay, you're welcome.
Thank you.
So feel at home. And before we continue, let me, on behalf of the management and staff of Anambra Broadcasting Service, especially the Good Morning Anambra team, commiserate with you on the tragic incident that happened recently where you lost 2 of your officers on the line of duty.
Thank you, and thank you very much.
Please accept our sincere condolences.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, from our intro, it is another very hectic period for your command. We saw what you did during the Christmas period, and we give you kudos for that. How prepared are you for this Easter period, sir?
Thank you, Ijama. We are always prepared for festive periods like this because it is anticipated that there will be increase in traffic volume. And we are concerned with 2 main things. Ensuring free traffic flow and reduction in road traffic crashes. Those are our 2 focus. Of course, along the line, we'll carry along prompt attention to road traffic crash victims along the line. But we had been preparing for this particular season for quite a while. Nationwide, the special patrol commenced yesterday, 13th of April, nationwide. And of course, it includes those of us in Anambra State. So right now, we are in the special patrol period for the Easter. And one of the things that we do is we deploy all our resources, personnel, our equipment, we deploy them, to ensure that there's free traffic flow on every inch of the highway in Anambra State.
Okay.
All right. Once again, we commiserate with your agency, of course, for losing some of your members in the line of duty. Let's look at the Easter period. Is one of the critical period, of course, where our people really come back, and the issue of road crashes recently. There was this news yesterday, which of course it was also in the news this morning. I read about an accident that happened, and the 2 cars caught fire, which of course some reverend sisters, a husband was involved in that crash. What would you say led to such incident? Because it's unlike such other crashes that do happen. Crashes happen and people die and all of that, but this happened and the both cars went up in flame. What could have led to such tragic accident?
You see, that particular incident was very unfortunate, and I really sympathize with the families of those that were involved. It happened in the night, and it happened during a rainstorm. And these are very challenging situations in which one should drive. That is why we always advocate in the Federal Road Safety Corps that as much as possible avoid night journeys, because visibility is reduced, and when there is a crash, the possibility of help or assistance getting to the victims of the crash is so reduced, because of the reduced number of people on the road at that time. That particular crash we're talking about, I believe, will have been caused by maybe reduced visibility coupled with the rainstorm. You know, when there is a rainstorm, there are so many things that may likely go wrong. The driver may not see well. The brakes may not catch properly because of the slippery, the wet surface of the road and all that. So it's very unfortunate that the vehicles had to catch fire at that time, and the victims suffered what they did. But we advocate that when it is night, as much as possible, avoid it, reschedule that journey, if possible, reschedule the journey. And even when you are driving under certain challenging conditions, like rainstorm, heavy rain, and so on, reduce your speed. If you can't see very well, or if your driver can't see very well, it is advised that such a person should find a safe place and park and wait until the storm is over.
Well, okay. There's something I've always wanted to, talk about. If you're driving along, if you're going to Onitsha now, and you're driving along Amobia, a lot of vehicles have, a lot of vehicles uses the one way because it's a smoother road, unlike the other road. And of lately, too, there's been crashes on that axis. I want to ask, is there anything you're doing? Because I don't know, for me, I feel it's not really right that there are vehicles that are coming, there are vehicles that are going on a particular road, while the other side of the road, which is meant for the vehicle to go, is not being used.
You see, it has to do with the attitude of some of our people. Of course, everybody likes to drive on a good road. Nobody wants to use the rough road with potholes and all that. So a lot of our people will prefer to use the section of the road that is paved, that is completed. They wouldn't want to go on the other side that is not yet paved. But let me stress one thing. Using that side of the road is not actually the problem. We have so many highways, in our country where it's a single lane carriageway.
There's a line demarcated, but in this case, there's none. Like everyone just, you see people overtaking for just no.
See, there are lines. This road we are talking about is marked. There are lines indicating where you can overtake and where you should not overtake. And because vehicles are driving facing each other on the same this thing, it doesn't actually mean that there should be a crash if the drivers obey the traffic rules. But you see, on that particular section of the road, what usually accounts for a higher or a larger percentage of the road crashes there is overspeeding. Despite the fact that the vehicles are sharing that section of the road, you still find out that some drivers decide to, speed excessively. They're wrongful overtaking. A truck is moving or some vehicles are going along the line, you discover that some vehicles will decide to overtake by the right, which is very wrong, very, very wrong. So these are some of the things that constitute crashes along that particular section of the road. Not actually because their vehicles are moving,
Okay, so what I brought it up is I wanted to be sure, is it not in your place, as the Federal Road Safety Code to probably ban cars from, forcing cars to use the other road, because with that way, at least we could save a lot of road crashes. That was why I brought it up. Is it right that most cars are using that road because we know it's a smoother road, or is it within your power to make sure that no other car uses the road except for oncoming cars, and ongoing cars should use the other side of the road?
Of course, I agree with you. It is. It is within our power. And this is one of the things that we try to do. But one of our problems or one of our challenges is that we can't be on the road 24 hours. While we are there trying to divert traffic to move along the normal lanes, yes, they may comply. But once we leave the road, you discover that they will start moving on the paved section again.
Oh, yes.
So these are the things that it has to do with the attitude of our people.
And that attitude, Sector Commander, the federal government and even the state government are aware that our people have, Nigerians, Africans have this kind of attitude. Perhaps that's why they established this road safety and other traffic agencies to ensure that these attitudes are controlled. From what Ugonna asked you, I am still going to throw back the questions because you leave the road very late in the evening and then some of the accidents happen in the afternoon. What we want to find out now, is it not your duty, the duty of your command, to ensure that these people don't ply one way? Because I know how many times I've been caught plying one way and I paid through. Why would they ply this one way and then to the detriment of other motoring public?
Yes, you see, like I said, we can't be everywhere at all times. We are on the road making arrests or trying to enforce the traffic laws. But at one point or the other, you discover that our team, our patrol team may have to leave that road for one reason or the other, either to bring an impoundment to the office, either to attend to a crash, either to, you know. And once the team leaves that point, you discover that everything goes haywire again. But
are you in any way shortage of men?
No, it's not an issue of shortage of men. Even if we have all the men in the world, they can't all be there 24 hours. Okay. But what we are doing is we are engaging members of the public, transport unions, organizations on advocacy level, trying to engage them, trying to talk to them. You see, because it is an attitudinal thing. When you are enforcing it, it may not have as much result as trying to talk to the people that are involved, making them to see the dangers that are inherent in doing what they are doing. Okay,
sir. Okay, I know for some months now, we have been witnessing traffic gridlock in the States, especially in Onitsha, Oka, and other flashpoints. And when one will start asking, do we have increase in the number of vehicles that are applying our roads, or is it born out of mismanagement of traffic in the States that you move now, you don't get to your destination until you have missed what you are going to do in the first place? So what is the problem? Why can't we have free flow of traffic in Anambra State?
Thank you. Thank you very much. You observe that the traffic jams we are observing, especially in Onitsha, is not all the time. It's periodic. It has certain seasons certain times of the day when it comes up. When the markets are closing, you have such, and when workers are resuming in the morning, you are likely to have an increase. You see, we are talking about a road network that is probably designed for example, maybe 50 people. And now 500 people are using it. If care is not taken, there is no way that there will not be challenges, yes. And then you have the 500 people, 450 of those 500 people using the roads meant for 50 people are impatient. 450 out of the 500 are very, very impatient. Any little delay, they will just change. And you see, there is a limit. There is a limit to, except the road user himself or herself decides to obey the traffic rules, decides to say, okay, look, I am not going to shunt, I am not going to drive against traffic, I'm going to, wait this thing out. And if all of us, or majority of us, decide to drive in that manner, we are going to have a very smooth driving experience in this state, if we can just exercise a little bit of patience.
Talking about, you cannot be on the road for 24 hours. What exactly is your members, your boys, your men? What time do they close for the day? Because there's something also I've noticed. Whenever the rains pours down at Kwata, there's always a massive gridlock. Yesterday I was driving home and I was there for up to an hour 45 minutes just there in Kwata. And it happened the day before yesterday too, that I even had to turn back and just go watch football. And, you know, I had to go home very late, even after closing from the office. What time do your men close? Because this thing happened around 8.
And you missed the match.
You know?
Did you miss the match?
I didn't miss the match. I enjoyed the match. I lost. Chelsea lost, which was my team anyway. But it was actually fun. So what time is it? You know, because yesterday I felt like if 1 or 2 or 3 of your men were around, you know, it would have eased, because men had to come down from their vehicles and, you know, try to manage and, you know, before we were able to get out of there.
Yes. You see, we operationally, according to our operational guidelines, we operate from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. And but when it comes to attending to rescue crashes, it's any time of the day or night. All right, we respond to road traffic crashes at any time of the day or night. But when it comes to the enforcement, we close by 6 p.m. Now, talking about gridlocks at specific areas within the urban area, we are working out a situation whereby we'll be working in partnership with other agencies to ensure that from that 6 p.m. when we close till around 10 p.m., at least to ensure that everybody gets home as freely as possible. In this particular period, this Easter period that we are having a special arrangement to work together with other agencies so that we can, our men can be on duty at those points at night. You will agree with me that there are more challenges when you are operating at night, when you're enforcing at night, especially if you are not armed, if you are not protected and all that. There are so many challenges that may come up. And but that is why we need to partner with other agencies so that they can give us the assistance. Okay. So from today, when the special patrol commences till the end of the special patrol, you are going to see a lot of changes.
Okay. Partnering with other agencies, we want to find out what is the relationship between the FRSC and other traffic agencies in the state. Is there any kind of conflict of roles?
No. There is no conflict at all.
Okay, so if the FRSC men are on the road, the other traffic agencies are on the roads, and we still have this kind of traffic grid law that we're having, would you say that these agencies are really working?
I think the issue is proper synergy. We need to develop a proper working synergy. We are still fine-tuning. That's what we are still working on. You will observe that Quata, Aroma, and some other places, you have ATMA personnel, you know, from morning till evening. While you hardly, you see road safety personnel maybe once in a while at those points. The reason is that we are more concerned with areas or points where crashes occur. Because our goal, one of our corporate goals, is to reduce fatality by 15% and reduce incident of road traffic crashes by 20%. So we now focus, okay, where are those areas where crashes occur? Definitely not in Quata Underbridge. It will have to be maybe on the highway, and then you go to the highway and see what are the measures we can put in place in those areas to reduce road traffic crashes. But once in a while, when the situation calls for it, like now that we expect an upsurge in traffic volume, we come into critical areas where there may be gridlocks, and we do the work.
All right, let's look deeper into the objectives of your agency, and of course, how do you intend to use your human capacity development to achieve these objectives?
The core marshal of the FRSC, Dr. Boboye Oyemi, MNI, has given us a very, a very solid base from which to, whereby it can serve as a launching pad for the achievement of human capacity development. We recently, a few days ago, we just graduated some trainees, some cadets from all our training schools nationwide. And this has boosted the level of personnel capacity that we have, even though they are yet to report. But as soon as they report, we are going to have enough personnel to do the work that we need to do. And also, we are engaged in periodic and regular staff training. Weekly in-house one is there to improve the capacity of staff, the professionalism of staff. And also we have the Command and Staff College where officers are sent regularly for development, further capacity development. So I believe this administration is working very hard towards achieving that.
Thank you very much. We're still talking with the Sector Commander of FRSC Anambra State Command, Mr. Adoye Aderewuji. And good morning, Anambra. Well, in a very short while, we open our phone lines and you will start making your calls, the numbers on the screen. But before then, let's get off here and onto the streets to bring you some interactions we'll have with the men on the streets. Do stand by, please.
To talk to the government because there are some commissions that takes care of that, like the Road Safety Commission, and Anambra State should also, I believe they have an agency that takes care of it. So if those guides would do their best to mount some checkpoints, some busy routes on the road, so as to make sure that there are no much cluster of people, and then secondly to direct vehicles from each route of their various drives. And then secondly, I believe there should be limitation placed, like adverts to speed limits, because a lot of persons, I believe, will be coming in from different places. So people should be sensitized on speed limits to operating certain routes in the state, and there should be penalties involved so that if anyone violates these regulations, then they can go in for it. So with this, I believe it's safe.
For me, I think that first of all, the road safety should be on guard, and though us as an individual, we should abide to the road safety traffic light of a thing. We should not be in a haste. At least there is traffic light that is controlling us. We should abide to it, because I've been seeing a lot of people disobeying the rules of the traffic lights, maybe in a haste. They will not allow this person and all of the things. So I don't know, if we just have patience is all the thing, and we'll mind the way we drive. We shouldn't be speeding all the time, especially in the main road where people can be crossing and all those things. And yes, very important thing about the flyover of a thing. Some people do ignore the flyovers. They do use the major road to cross, which is very dangerous, because the government that provided the flyover, they knew the reason why they provided the flyover. So I think we should make use of the flyover too.
It's a simple thing. It's you on your path driving, and you try and adhere to the road traffic signs and check your cars. It's very important process. And on the part of the government, the should be able to do their own. So it's simple like that.
People should avoid drinking or being drunk. That's one of the.
Still good morning, Anambra, and we are still talking with the Sector Commander Adoye Irelewuyi. Hope I got it right this time, sir. Okay, thank you. All right. Recently, we saw the Corps Marshal's marching order for traffic control during this Easter period. And we want to find out what your command is doing to ensure the implementation of this order in the state.
Thank you very much. Like I said earlier, we are deploying all our personnel and our resources. We have about 424 regular marshals in Anambra State, and all of them are going to be engaged in traffic control. All of them will be engaged in enforcement. We also have about 610 special marshals. These also are going to be engaged. So all together, we are sending out in Anambra State about 1,000 personnel, and we are deploying our tow trucks, for prompt removal of obstructions, especially on the Headbridge at Onitsha, to ensure that there is no obstruction there. And of course, we're always ready to respond to road traffic crash whenever and wherever it occurs along our roads in Anambra State. So in addition to all this, we are engaging in public enlightenment, motor park rallies, trying to sensitize members of the public on the safe use of our roads, because it's a continuous thing. You have to keep on talking to people about it if you want to get the correct or the desired result. So these are some of the things that we are doing in compliance with the Corps Marshal's directive, and we are domesticating it to our environment here in Anambra State.
All right, well, if you're just joining us, it's still good morning, Anambra. And of course, just to let you know that you can also join in the conversation this morning by calling the numbers on your screen. If there are questions you need to probably ask, this is the time for you to join us. If there are contributions you need to make, this is the time to ask us. Our first caller this morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Yes, good morning. Please turn down the volume of your TV set. Yes, good morning. Your name and your location.
Yeah, this is Mr. Angel. I'm calling from Onitsha.
Mr. Angel from Malaysia, right?
From Onitsha.
Okay, from Onitsha.
Yeah, this is Mr. Angel Lazarus. I'm calling from Onitsha.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead with your contributions, Mr. Angel.
Yeah, I enjoyed this program as much as for you to be able to listen to the... Hello, can you hear me?
We can hear you clearly. Go ahead.
Okay, so what I'm putting in is that the road safety people are working very good, but there are some things that, especially these people at the army barrack, they are working really well, but there are some other ones that don't help in making the traffic work. You understand? But they are always interested in faults, but they don't join to make the road working very, very well, especially those people in Headbridge. But those ones at Anambra and all those other places are making sure that the motors are motorable. And it's very, very, very wonderful work. But those people at that Headbridge, I don't understand. So I'm just begging so that they can also help and make the work and make the road to be safe for everybody. I thank you so much for allowing my call to go through. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Angel. Well, Mr. Dewey is the right man to, answer that question.
I was actually going to ask you what is going to happen at Headbridge this time around, because we notice it's not just your men that are there. You find the army, you find the police, and even the volunteers. And then, but as if all these people that are there compound the problem of traffic. Okay, you stop for road safety, you stop for the army, you stop for this and all the rest of things. How are we going to have it?
Let's take this call before you answer that question. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Hello, are you there? All right, go ahead with your question.
Let me first of all thank Mr. Angel for that observation. These are the kind of observations that we believe will help us in performing better. Well, I'm surprised he has made that comparison between those at the barracks and those at the Headbridge. If you ask me, I would have said that those people at Headbridge are working more than, well, but he's on ground, so I believe he knows better. But I want all Anambrarians to understand that different points have their different challenges. Those that are at Headbridge will have a different challenge with those that are at building materials junction, for instance. So but now that observation has come up, we're going to work towards seeing that people at all the points, not even at the Headbridge alone, all the points, they are up and doing. And that brings me to what IJ asked, that at this season, we are going to ensure, we have enough personnel, we have enough equipment. We are going to ensure that as much as possible, we extend our working hours, so that if we have a situation at the Headbridge, for instance, we will not just leave that situation when it's 6 and then we go, no. We'll ensure that as much as possible we get to the root of it. Like yesterday, we had to make special deployment. We had to bring in a tow truck from Asaba, from Delta State, in order to join us and clear some obstructions within Onitsha.
All right, talking about late hours, because I remember you said, you wouldn't, your men are not on the road 24 hours. Talking about late hours, you also said how challenging it could be, trying to manage this traffic and all of that at late hours. I know not too long ago, some of your men were abducted, and it really took so much measures and a whole lot to get this men out. Now, my question is, would the case have been different if your men were allowed to carry on guns? Carry guns to protect themselves?
I wouldn't say yes and I wouldn't say no, because when you are armed, it's a different ball game entirely. We started. Well, I joined the FRSC in 1990, and when I joined, there was even no issue of carrying arms, and we were working fine. But then, I admit the fact that the situation then, the challenges we were facing then, the security situation as at that time, is very, very different from what it is now. So the management will decide whether it's because they have a broader view, they have a bigger picture.
Because
of the entire.
Why I asked the question is, you talked about extending, the working hours, which of course we understand what the night brings and why a lot of people try to avoid.
Yes, I said for this Easter period, we are going to do that. You see, every job has its own hazard. Even your job has its hazard. And once you understand that, okay, this is the kind of hazard peculiar to my work, you'll be ready to make sacrifices.
You make sacrifices. Okay, thank you very much. Before we round off, we want to find out who are the special marshals that are working for road safety. That's FRSC. Who are they?
Special marshals are volunteer groups, let me put it that way. They are individuals of repute in the society that has evident means of livelihood, and they are ready to volunteer their time and their resources to assist in achieving the objectives of the Federal Road Safety Corps anywhere they are. They are not being paid any remuneration or any salary, and they partake in so many aspects. They partake in research, they partake in public enlightenment, they partake even in enforcement. Yes, so we screen people that apply to become a special marshal.
I was going to ask you that. Do you just wake up in the morning and come to FRC and collect your jacket and become one?
No, of course not. We screen them. We look at their means of livelihood. Is it sustainable? Is it something that will help them to meet the challenges of the job? We look at the kind of person with the recommendation they have. Either they belong to an association or they belong to a social group in the community. And then, of course, we look at the kind of vehicles that they have. Is it roadworthy? Is it the kind of vehicle that we will give a ticket to when we see on the road?
Okay. I would like to use this opportunity to commend those of them that work for you in Onitsha. That's the special marshal. They're doing very good work there.
They're doing well.
Okay, I stay in Onitsha, and I know that most of the problems that traffic problems we have in Onitsha, they handle it very well.
Thank you.
All right. Before we round off, let's quickly look at some comments we have on our Facebook page, which it's important we look at and, of course, get to hear from them what they feel about it. Let's get the comments now and hear what they really feel about the whole issues of ensuring safety on the highway. Ndubisi Onike says, Oga, you are short of men. Nigeria is broke. You can't afford to employ more men. That's coming from
Well, he never said he was short of men.
That's coming from Ndubisi. I don't know. Do we have other comments on social media? Okay, if not, what would you have to say about that
Well,
sector commander? Because he says the reason why you're short of men is because Nigeria is broke.
I wouldn't know how he came to that conclusion that we are short of men. Well, there is no organization today that you will that will say they are overstaffed or they have too much personnel. Of course, we can do with more men. We can do with more men, and like I said earlier on, we have just passed out some officers and some men from our training institution. So for now, we are
Good to go.
yes.
Okay.
We're very good to go.
Thank you very much. I would like to take your message to Anambra. That is, what is your message to Anambra as they join the rest of the world to celebrate Easter on Sunday?
I want to appeal to all good people of Anambra State. It is only the living that celebrates. Let's exercise patience while we are using the road. Let's maintain the regulated speed limit. And let's make sure that anytime we embark on any journey, we prepare for that journey. Let your vehicle be in order. You yourself, as the road user, be in a good psychological and emotional and physical state so that you will arrive safely at your destination. I pray we will have a wonderful Easter celebrations.
Okay, thank you very much. Another message just came in. Let's just take it quickly before we go. It said that, but then I have not heard, like most people envisage, that too many road accidents are as a result of spiritual attacks. Very fun indeed. Okay, who is attacking who spiritually this time around? Thank you very much. The Corps Commander Adoye Irelewuyi, Sector Commander, Federal Road Safety Corps, Anambra State Command. Thank you very much for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's been a very wonderful time with you.
And me
Thank
too.
you.
Thank you.
Okay, Ebere, we must go.
We must go. It's Easter Thursday. We're also hoping to have a Good Friday and Easter Saturday. And
Today
Easter
is Monday, Thursday. That's what they call it.
A lot of people also call it
Thursday.
Easter Thursday. Monday, Thursday.
All Easter starts on Sunday.
Okay, well, for you, I tell you, some people's Easter starts today.
Oh, really? Okay. Thank you, the Good Morning Anambra team. Thank you. Thank you, the producer, Ifyu Nachukwu, and the whole lot of us in the house, the director. Thank you for doing a wonderful job this morning. My name is Sijoma Uche. God keeping us. We'll be here tomorrow.
Yeah, we can't
stop
thanking everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. Of course, the media personnel from the FRSC, Margaret Onabe, thank you also for being here with us. And of course, all the camera crew, everybody, this is we say, have a beautiful Monday, Thursday. I'm Ebere Ugonna. Bye-bye.
Bye for now.